It was finally spring break, which meant that I finally had some free time on my hands again, and I was ready to relax. Now, I could have just went somewhere like literally everybody else.
Florida?
Or I could have wasted my time in Elden Ring.
Yo, I hate this area, this sucks!
But instead, I decided to build something really useless. A controller that randomizes your button inputs, aka the Rantroller.
What am I supposed to do?
Because who really needs time to relax when there's important and stupid work to be done?
Alright, let's get to it.
Now, obviously I'm gonna need a controller, and I just so happen to have this GameCube controller that a friend gave me lying around. I also had some high-strength hydrogen peroxide and sulfuric acid lying around, which, make this stuff, which vaporizes carbon, turning this piece of chicken into less of a piece of chicken. And since I usually test my creations on my friends, I decided to skip the deadly acid, at least for now.
Can't have any fun these days.
But going back to the controller, what exactly do I want it to do? Obviously I want it so when I press a button, like this one, the system interprets it as I'm pressing a random button, like this one. The problem is that a design that simple would make something that's completely useless, as randomizing every button input would make it just too unplayable. I mean, if I just wanted to make something terrible, I'd ask my professor's mother why she had a son.
I hate him.
Or why a group associated with terrorism makes comedy apps?
So I formulated that we'd probably want to be working in something like intervals. Take 30 seconds, for instance, which would give you just enough time to adapt to your old horrible controls before it transitions to some new horrible controls, which would leave you back in the dark and lost again, but not impossible, which is the key.
So let's get started. First, we're gonna need to take off the case to see what we're dealing with. The important parts are these, the inputs, and these, the outputs. The outputs are easy enough. We just attach wires to the correct pins and then send randomized signals at a later time. Now, the inputs are a lot more annoying. See, controller button inputs work by connecting these two sides with the bottom of these kinds of silicone pads, which actually sends the signals to ground, letting the main controller we just talked about know when a button has been pressed. This doesn't work for us, since we don't actually want to send signals to the main controller from here, we want to send our own. So my idea was to cover these up with something relatively non-conductive, like paper, and place our own buttons in between so that we can read our own inputs when we want.
But what does any of that even mean?
It means I take wires and slip them in between tinfoil, and so when the two touch together, I know that a button's been pressed. Oh, and I'm gonna need a lot of them. So it was finally time to start soldering the wires to the board, which was actually pretty terrifying because
if I mess that up, that's the end of this project. It just ends there.
But eventually I got everything on the board wired up, and I was finally done with the soldering.
And I gotta say, that sucked.
Finally, we 3D printed the base for our case, threw in our microcontroller to get everything finished up, and it was finally time to see if the hardware works.
And if it doesn't, I'm bringing back out the acid.
But I was stoked to see everything actually worked perfectly. As you can see, my computer is reading the inputs from the tinfoil buttons and showing up accordingly and in real time on the serial monitor.
In short, the microcontroller pretty much just checks to see if a button is pressed, and if it is, then it sends a signal to the actual controller telling it to do a move. It's that easy.
Now all we're gonna have to do is put in the code to randomize the inputs to send to the outputs, and we'll finally be done with
the Rantroller, the solution to all of your gaming needs.
Do you ever get tired of knowing exactly what you're doing using pinpoint controls to maneuver your character?
Yeah.
Well, now you don't have to. Rantroller makes sure you aren't ever quite sure what you're pressing for maximum pain and pleasure.
It's so much worse. Thank you.
Happy to help, random citizen. Simply plug the Rantroller into your compatible console and you're good to go anywhere, no matter how you play.
And just look at all of its features.
Exposed wiring that makes for a shocking experience. Hard to press buttons since there are not one, but two separate layers of tinfoil and wiring that's underneath those buttons. And even a missing Z button since it must have fallen out while I was building it and I just couldn't find it.
All of those features and so many more for the small, small price of my spring break. But hey, don't just take my word for it. Let's see it in action.
Good?
Yeah. Oh, this is not gonna go well. This is random. What do you want me to do? Okay, I'm not trying to jump, and every time I air dodge, it's just like, whoop. You're bad. I'm bad. This sucks. This isn't what? These are not my moves. Look at A. Look at B. B chart. Oh, that's B now. Oh, sweet. We have B.
How often does it change?
Every 30 seconds it changes, so this is possible now. That's not B. That's not B. That's B. Okay. Yeah, this is impossible. It even turns you into a good player.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right.
I'm not. These aren't my moves. Why did he? Bro, grab is now jump. Grab is jump now. I made it back. I made it back. The jump was actually jump. Okay, it wasn't that time. It wasn't that time. Why did I build this? This is stupid. I can't do this. Every 30 seconds my moves are changing up, and they're not my moves! What am I supposed to do? Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go. What the okay.
Yo!
yeah.
Oh my god!
It's not easy, is it?
No.
Are you just mashing the controller to get things to come out? No. Oh, yeah.
No!
Yep. You try to up B, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's happened to me.
Rantroller, the only controller specifically designed to be terrible. Purchase today. Hey, thanks for all the support I've gotten recently, especially on this video, so I thought it'd be fun to give back in a way. So if this video hits like, I don't know, 3K likes, I'll actually give away either my Operation SodaSteel build or my Rantroller from this video. Don't pick this one, the other one's so much cooler. To a random comment or one I think is just funny. So to enter, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel and then leave a comment down below because obviously if you don't comment, I can't pick you. So if you want to make sure this giveaway actually happens, I would share this video with people that you think would think it was funny. Why would I freeze it like that? So share it with people you think would enjoy it so that I can give it away because I think that'd be pretty sick. So yeah, thanks for watching.
Okay, so you're recording. You see my smile.
Thanks. I'm gonna have to look over all this footage.